Audimus Media is an automatic closed captioning production software designed to receive any signal, process it, and send back high accurate captions within a small delay window. The general workflow is simple. The master input signal that goes to the closed caption inserter is also routed to the Audimus Media virtual or physical server. We have different input configuration scenarios, but traditionally there is a Blackmagic Decklink board or a similar device receiving the signal. Then, the audio is extracted and sent to the speech recognition engine to be processed. Within a small window of 3 to 4 seconds, a complete line of caption is produced and sent to the encoder to be merged with the master signal as it advances down in the production pipeline. Now let's take a look at this in a little more detail. When the audio is decoded by the Decklink board, it is sent to an acoustic speech processor. Here, the first step will be the speech non-speech detection, which identifies and segments the zones that will be captioned from the background zones with no speech. For every speech segment, the engine identifies who is talking, speaker identification. Moreover, it analyzes if it is the same speaker of the past segment or a new one. If it is indeed a different speaker, a new speaker turn is created. For every created turn, there is an unsupervised classification of speech segments based on speaker voice characteristics, speaker clustering. In the background zones, events like music, applause, or laughter can be detected and added as metadata to the captions. After the audio pre-processing stage, it is time to transform speech to text. Using a deep neural network-based training, VoiceInteraction created acoustics models robust enough to respond to most of the day-to-day scenarios of a TV program. They are derived from thousands of hours of gathered data. The acoustic data is combined with statistical models of the most relevant words that make up the vocabulary. These sets of 200,000 words are derived from web crawling, new words suggested by clients, and regular manual transcription of real data. A singular language has millions of words, and as previously stated, these cannot be in the model all at the same time. The accumulated delay of processing millions of entries would be too great for a normal CPU or GPU processor. So, the ingenious simplification comes by the way of finding the best universe of words for any given time period, one that offers the best chance for a result close to 100% correct. With that in mind, a new language model is created every day. The motto is to adapt as rapidly as the contents do. Using both models and an enhanced WFST search algorithm, it is possible to create almost undelayed captions, maintaining efficient usage of memory overall. Denormalization, automatic punctuation, and relevant tags are added before sending the caption to the closed captioning encoder. Audimus Media has a web interface where you may set up, control, and export produced closed captions. After this architecture presentation, a short demo of the interface will get you acquainted with some of the most relevant features. Based on a RESTful API, the platform is ready for on-top development and extension. One of the most relevant out-of-the-box integrations is the mute and unmute commands. Upon configuration, these can be integrated on pre-existing workflows or directly in a GPIO pin at master control. VoiceInteraction natively integrates with iNews, ENPS, and MOS systems for automation of vocabulary information gathering. Finally, VoiceInteraction also natively supports the most common encoders and communication protocols, simplifying the overall process and integration. Audimus Media is the automatic closed captioning platform from VoiceInteraction. Based on proprietary technology, this software generates high accuracy captions and delivers them within a 3-second delay. Now, we'll give you a full tour of the application. As we go along, everything will become more apparent as we familiarize you with our software. On the upper left corner of the page, you will see the current date and time. When selected, a calendar will pop up that allows you to navigate to any day, past or present. When looking to schedule an event in the future, export the results of a past task, or create a new breaking news task, you can use the date navigation to guide yourself temporarily in the application. To the left, you will find the navigation tabs of the application. As an administrator of the platform, you may also control all of the backend features under the Administration tab. Every captioning channel created for the platform is grouped under the Closed Captioning tab. In the Administration tab, you will find the following subtabs: Events, Tasks, Channels, Inserters, Speakers, Models, Add New Words, Licenses, Proxy Information, General Configurations, Users, and User Logs. On your upper right corner, you may access and change your personal information. Here, you may update your password, as well as the app's display name, email, and company, if stated. Next up, the workspace language, which, by default, comes in English. When selecting a different language, every display text will automatically be translated to the desired language. This next button links you to a PDF file with the application's manual. A detailed description about every configuration will be found here. It will assist you with any questions that may arise about Audimus Media. And finally, the Logout button. This logs you out from the application. Now let's take a look at the new captioning channel setup, which is the first step of the Audimus Media configuration. First, select the Channels at Administrations tab. A list of created channels will appear, and you can check their detailed information and edit relevant features by clicking on the Edit Channel button. If a channel is no longer needed, you can use the Remove Channel button. If you want to create a new channel, click on the New Channel button. A creation menu will appear, and here you will create a new input fee configuration. The identification name that you give the channel is independent of the channel input, as are the amplification and EPG toggle. You can amplify the input signal by choosing a multiplication value to do so. You can add program guide information to your channel by toggling the corresponding button. Choose a country of origin and the desired channel name to do so. Now let's dive into specific scenarios depending on the input of choice. If the chosen input is sound card, you will be asked to select a capture device from the list of available sources detected by the operative system. Then select the input channel, either stereo, channel 0, or channel 1. Blackmagic Decklink cards have the nuance of having different input formats and multiple captured channels. You can set up the input accordingly to incoming signal information. Similar to Decklink capture cards, Audimus Media natively supports AJA IP video cards. Select the capture device and preview the incoming IP connection feed. By selecting DirectShow, you can select the audio or video device and the corresponding channel. Finally, you can set up stream-based capturing feed, as we are going to do in this demo. Upon URL input, you can preview what is being broadcasted directly in this menu. When all the information above is entered, the new channel can be created. The creation menu will automatically close, and the newly created channel will appear on the main menu list. Now let's configure the way you are outputting the captions. In order to do that, first you will need to open the Inserters tab under the Administration menu. Previously created inserters will be listed here and can be selected in the drop-down menu at the top of the page. Upon choosing the desired inserter, a detailed configuration will be displayed. On the bottom of the page, you will find an Edit and Remove buttons for any situation where you might need to change or delete the previously selected inserter. Whenever creating a new captioning output configuration, you will need to click on the Create Inserter button. Let's take it step by step. First, the inserter name, the descriptive tag that identifies the inserter. Second, the base inserter, a comprehensive list of the most widely used communication protocols and inputs ranges. With all of the encoders currently offered by major brands, just scroll down where you will find the specific protocol that your encoder is designed for. And third, the inserter behavior. This feature varies depending on the chosen protocol. It will define how the captions will be created, either multi-line captions, word by word, or text. Under it, you will also find a specific area designed to fine-tune the output behavior that is customized for every selected communication protocol. Each and every single field will carry default values that can be changed if need be. You may find the available documentation by hovering over the question mark button next to the field name. This simple creation process will save you a lot of integration headaches and workflow issues. When everything is set up, you just need to click on the Create Insert button at the bottom of the page. The creation menu will close automatically and the newly created inserter will now appear on the drop-down menu in the inserter management list. The inserter can now be used in both closed captioning tasks and events. Now with everything in place, let's get you familiarized with the tasks and events setup. Under the Closed Captioning tab on the upper left side of the page, you may now select a channel to start captioning. This is your active channel now. On the main page, you will find two different sections, one for available actions controls and another for active task lists within the selected day. Starting with the action panels, you have the active channel name that clearly identifies where you are interacting. The refresh button to the right forces a request for the latest state of the active tasks. There is an automatic refresh routine in intervals of 30 seconds. Next up, the tasks and events. These concepts are fairly similar, differing on the when they start and the periodicity they run. Both can be created here. A complete list of all available tasks and active scheduled events will be displayed by clicking on the Tasks and Events buttons, respectively. If the current active channel has EPG information associated, the Get EPG button will manually refresh that same information. With the available actions menu summarized, let us now explain the tasks and events creation workflow. First, we will talk about tasks. Tasks are used for one-shot captioning processes to start immediately. They are for the unanticipated situations that will not be repeated in the future. For instance, breaking news scenarios that demand live captioning, a situation where you may have to create a new task to run for a short period of time. Clicking on New Task will prompt a creation menu button. Here, you may enter a descriptive name to identify the task and the task's end time. If you have more than one active language, you can choose which one to use, as well as the active language model. If not, you may leave the default options as is. The Advanced Options drop-down menu furthers your control on the output result. Choose to store the incoming audio, automatically detect new turns of speech, enhance speech detection for noisy scenarios, automatically punctuate and/or denormalize the produced captions. Further down, you may find if there are any previously created speaker models for the program anchors, journalists, and reporters. This option makes it so that in the future, any intervention made by a known speaker will trigger the input of their respective name in the beginning of their first sentence. To the right, the inserter selection. Here, you may select multiple inserters. The inserter parameters may be checked with a click of a button next to the drop-down selector. Special audio events, such as applause or laughter, can be detected and prompt on the output. You can start the task with the closed captions disabled and manually start sending the output to the encoder whenever you feel like it is required. If you need to add a sponsor message, you can do so here by selecting a start and end message. When everything is filled out, you may use the Create task to begin producing the closed caption. The newly created task will then appear on the Active Tasks section below. On the navigation menu to the left of the page, a blinking red dot will appear next to the channel name whenever a channel has an ongoing active task. Do you happen to need a timetable for pre-scheduled captioning tasks to run in the future? Then in order to do this, you can use events. Follow the same creation process that was shown in the tasks segment. Here, however, you will be able to specify the time frequency this event should run on. Events can run on once, basically the same as the task, but with a start time in the future. Daily, where they run every day at the chosen time. On weekdays only, excluding the weekend. Weekly, running once a week on the selected date and time. Or finally monthly, running once a month on the selected date and time. You may also choose specific programs, setting events to their estimated airing times, or opt for the complete coverage task. It's up to you. You will be able to create a new event to run daily throughout the entire 24 hours, creating a 24/7 continuous task that will produce closed captioning around the clock. Active tasks and events alike will be displayed under the Actions panel. The completed tasks will be noted with a green check. Currently ongoing active tasks will have a closed captioning icon in red. But there are also other states: waiting, in error, not processed. These will also come with customized icons that will highlight with a detailed explanation whenever hovering over them with the cursor. If a task originated from a scheduled event, a calendar icon is put next to the task state descriptive icon. Active tasks, whenever selected, will prompt an available actions menu. This is where you will be able to visualize all of the closed captions that are currently being produced, end the active task, or remove it entirely from the platform. If the task originated in an event, the event information may be edited or removed here. As for any other actions, these will almost be self-explanatory. Let's first focus on the View Closed Captioning menu. Here you will find a short description of the tasks so that it can be easily identified: name, event period, advanced options, language, and correspondent model used. Also, you may check whether the output was inhibited in the beginning or even if any sponsor message was used. Finally, the used inserters. Here, you may assess all of the active features for each inserter by clicking on the Parameters button. The next section shows a real-time view of the closed captions being produced. The text output format respects the directives of the selected inserter. You can listen to the incoming feed or see the audio input with the bar on the right.
The move comes during a year of protests, including against the disproportionate number of arrests for drug offenses in minority communities.
When I became governor, our folks incarcerated in New Jersey, we had the widest white, non-white gap of persons incarcerated in America.
In this menu, you can end or remove the current task. With similar features to the previous menu, the first button to the left allows you to disable the natural traffic of sending of captions to the encoder. This may be helpful, for instance, with commercial breaks that already include closed captioning information. This way, you may prevent overlapping subtitles on the viewer screen by accessing the toggle button. When the mentioned ad break ends, you may turn on the sending of captions again and business is as usual. The mute and unmute action is also assigned to a GPIO physical control button. Completed tasks may also be selected. A custom action menu will appear where you may export the results by clicking on Task Completed or remove the task from the platform. If the task originated in an event, the event information may also be edited or removed here. When exporting results, a dedicated page will pop up. Here, choose between downloading a zip file with the result and internal logs or just a custom export format. Choose from a large group of output formats specifically designed to fit any workflow.